Move on to the NASD markets. That's the National Association of Securities Dealers over-the-counter market. The index reading fell much deeper than the bigger Nigerian Stock Exchange. So the NASD USI was 1.94%, almost 2% in the reading. That's a very massive haircut down. The 600 USI bench psychological reading. The market capitalization also fell below the 400 billion naira to 394.91 when the market finished off in the afternoon. In volume terms, 196, less than 200,000 shares, 27.49 million naira in just 13 transactions. And now let's bring in the FX markets. The central bank started the current week with 250 million US dollars. We've seen the central bank doing a little bit less in the last few weeks as we see foreign investors coming strongly into the markets with under the I&E window. So in the holiday week, we had just one single intervention for the week by the central bank. That was $250 million. Now we're starting this new week, yesterday, Monday, with 250 million US dollars. That, of course, it will impact liquidity in the market, even though we have a system liquidity finishing positive, impacting very positively a little bit on the interbank money market funds, overnight money about 22.3%. But in terms of the FX trading, you can see a bit of a gentle dip for the naira on the dollar at the central bank reference window, 306 finishing line. At the interbank, it was a little bit a bit better for the local currency, 357.79 against the dollar, up by 1.5%. A little bit flat on the pound at 474, but almost a 0.5% gain for the local unit at 430.6 on the euro. On the street, the naira fell 0.5% to 367 on the greenback and flat at 472 and 432 on the pound sterling and the euro. Of course, those are two of the very strong currencies in the dollar index basket. If you track the FX market, of course, you already know that the dollar has been taking some beating from both the pound and the euro in recent days. Of course, all of that with the market volatility. So it's not surprising that we see a bit of gains of both the pound and the euro on the local currency. Then finally, you have the FMD investor and exporters window. The naira lost about 0.25% to 359.40. Again, that relates to the profit taking on the stock market by investors when we lost about 100 billion. So when money moves out in naira, you can see the correlation also in dollars, because there's a window for these investors to actually play with their money and do whatever they like with it. But quickly, let's bring in the oil and gas big seven on our market here. We just put that in here right now. Owando was the big story yesterday. The annual shareholders meeting, a bit of a protest by some investors, or by some shareholders, I beg your pardon. But the meeting was concluded, and all the items on the notice of meeting were well taken care of, and the company is now moving on. What analysts were saying in their notes overnight and this morning was that the conclusion of this contended annual general meeting for 2016 financial year is a confidence that this company is moving forward, and the allegations that this and the petition that this annual meeting should not hold yesterday in Akwa Ibom State was quashed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So Owando moved on and concluded on that meeting, and that seemed to give some confidence into the stock, and you can see that at the bottom of the page, 1.876 million ordinary shares. The share was up 3.69 to 675. How this will be moving forward now, the morning after, as Owando still face some investigations with the SEC, the annual meeting has been cleared, and that is done. Now the investigations by the SEC into other issues around corporate governance and what have you, or shareholding structure still continuing. We don't have any update yet from the authorities, nor from the company, but everyone says they're going to let us know, or that the investing community know what the conclusion of those investigations are. So Oando is still under the SEC's investigation, but the annual shareholders meeting was successfully concluded. You see 40 oil there at the doorstep of 15 naira per unit. And of course, Total was decent by almost 0.87% at the market close. Let's close this part of the program. Let's continue after the break. Then we have a lot to talk about the commodities market.